It's funny, the 12 and 13 thing, a lot of the time, they're just numbers on a back. You know, back in the old days, they played left centre and right centre. And likewise, from a defensive point of view, you have to have an element of telepathy to be able to understand what one another are doing without always having the opportunity to communicate. So I was lucky I played with Gordon Darcy in my province and national team for 10 years, so I had a fair idea what he was at.
Well, let's go through a few scenarios then about how you decide what to do at each tackle situation. Obviously, being out there in the outside centre, possibly the most difficult position to defend on the field. No, I think it is. It's tough. You've got to make the right decisions at the right time, haven't you? So let's go through a few scenarios. And first up, what have we got?
OK, so what we're talking about, and it's probably evolved over the last 10 years or so, a number of different players, not only sevens and back rows are renowned for being jacklers, but also centres, and anyone on the pitch now has an ability to get in and steal the ball or at least slow it down. So we're going to go through 3 different scenarios. So the first one is the actual jackal situation. When a chop tackle takes place and I see my defender making that tackle, I'm confident he's going to make the tackle on his own. I don't need to be the assist tackler because straight away I have to release before I go back in again. So I'm going to let the tackle unfold and immediately go in and try and get into a good position.
OK, let's take us through that. We all know the chop tackle. It goes low. The man goes to the ground quickly. I'm 10 on 10. Centre comes in. He's chopped to the ground quick. So what are you looking for?
When there's no immediate support, I've great option in on the ball. These trousers are a little bit tight, so I'm probably not going to get quite down as low as I would hoped. Making sure you tuck the head, nothing worse than giving the opposition a target. So tuck the head, and if you are going to take any impact, it has to be on the back or on the back of the neck. It's a pretty strong place. I got hit there plenty of times.
In the face.
So, and the face.
Yeah.
So it's about just holding on, and as soon as the referee sees that separation, it's probably going to be a quicker penalty than, you know, if players are in close proximity. You hold on for a second, 2 seconds, 3 second max, the referee's going to give a penalty. So it's a matter of trying to bend your legs, use the player as leverage to try and get down into good position, tuck the head, and wait for those impacts to come. And as soon as you know the whistle goes, you know that it's going to be a penalty to you.
And your first target point the ball or occasionally pass the ball?
Well, referees a lot of the time now aren't happy with you just going to the ball and kind of pretending to hold it in. You have to have an effort at trying to pull it away from the opposition. And once they see that the attacker holding on, they'll give you a penalty. But you have to make the effort to pull in rather than just trapping the arm, saying, oh, ref, I'm trying to have a go at the ball here. Also, the interesting thing is, when players come in, and, you know, obviously I played centre, but, you know, when you're doing analysis and you see sevens and different players, Richie McCaws, George Smiths, teams will have targeted them.
Yep.
They don't care whether they're going to the ruck sometimes. So Richie McCaw might be minding his own business, running around to put up guard on the far side. A lot of the time he'll be cleaned out of it because they know that he's coming.
Strangely, you said that when we played against Ireland, players used to wear a bib that said Brian O'Driscoll on it, and players kneeled back largely, followed you around the field, trying to kill you before you got to the ball. So let's go through the second scenario. Thank you, guys. I didn't mention, actually, the Army Air Corps are our team today, and they're doing a great job so far. So this is the second scenario, Jeff.
So it's a similar situation, but the key support is in closer proximity to the tackle player.
OK, let's run it through again. Man on man, 10. Out he comes.
So chop tackle again. So again, I leave my centre to make the tackle, but it's going to be more of a contest this time. Obviously, there's no space between the tackle player and the first support. I know that I don't have a great position to get in there. I've committed to the ruck, so now I'm looking at barging through to try and create space, make the ruck a 4 or 5 second ruck so my defenders can align, get around the corner and reset the defensive line.
And that's largely about shoulder height, isn't it? As you see him come in, you know if your shoulders are below his shoulders, you'll win that contact point.
Exactly. It's about preempting it and identifying the situation. I could see fairly early on that the defender, or the attacker key support was close proximity, so it's about trying to clear out lower than him and again lengthen the ruck.
OK, and this one I think was probably the most difficult because if you're a competitive centre, you want to get on the ball, you want to try and get the turnover, and sometimes you've got to take a decision for the benefit of the team.
You're not going to get it every time, and you have to understand that you have to cut your cloth sometimes. So a similar situation, but on this occasion we're going to have the key support right in, latching on the player that's tackled.
OK, and let's see what you do from there. As the ball comes in again, carries it up. Chop tackle goes down.
So I see he's over the ball, he's in a great position. There's no point in me, you know, going to a dead ruck. I'm going to leave my winger and my full-back in trouble. I'm making my back row or second row, whoever's at the line or first out of the scrum, work hard around the corner. So in this instance, I have to be able to identify that there's nothing there for me. I can't slow it down. I got to be able to push and bounce away. Also, the important thing on that is I'm not bouncing and posting up on guard. So again, the boys who are working hard in the scrum or have already competed in a line-out, they're working harder. I've been standing out there.
Do you see how fast these guys got round the corner?
They were impressive. They were impressive.
I mean, that was like... That Sanatigen's really kicked in, hasn't it, so far?
But just trying to use the momentum of the defender or of the attacker to get out. And again, you're just setting your line to get line speed and going again. And it's the same situation of being able to read, you know, what is unfolding. And it's about identification as the process happens.
Yeah, well, that's there for you all at home, actually. All the kids who are watching, I think you just go out and you get in the midfield and you make a tackle, you get to the feet, you make a pass, you don't. You have to think about every single individual situation to its absolute max, don't you?
Gentlemen, I think it's time we made someone's dream come true. What's your name?
Kira.
Kira, oh, what an
already married.
Kira, you're a huge Brian O'Driscoll fan.
Start crying.
Well, I tell you what, this is what we're going to do. You're going to receive a pass from Ireland's greatest ever centre. Are you ready for that?
Yep.
Brian, are you ready to do this, make this girl's dream come true? Give him a target, hands up, help her out, folks. Let's commentate on this.
Don't drop it!
Come on. And Kira goes! Well done, Kira. No, me!
Skills.
Thank you so much. He's done well, hasn't he, on his debut? Well done, Brian. Well done. Well done.